Hey guys, how's it going? So, third video in the series, and here we are installing an old version of PHP onto our new Ubuntu Apache MySQL server. And the reason why we're using an old version of PHP is twofold. First, the site make uses of custom C and C++ modules that have to be compiled within PHP. And the API between C and C++ modules and PHP has changed over time. And that the code was not kept up to date. So the code as is needs an older version of PHP. The second version is that the libraries that interface between PHP and MySQL also changed. I don't remember what the name of the library that we used was, but it doesn't exist in the current distribution of PHP, and I don't know the reasons. So if we were to, even if we were to migrate those modules, those C and C++ modules, and I do not know what amount of work that would be, but even if we were to migrate those modules, we still would have to go throughout the entire site and change all the calls from the old MySQL library interface to the new, I think, PDO MySQL interface. So that is why we need an old version of PHP, which is kind of, it creates additional challenges in the installation, but all things considered, that's the way we're going. Anyway, let's get started. I'm going to open a terminal, and in the terminal we are going to, first thing we need to do is, if there are any versions of PHP that are present in the system, we have to remove them, because otherwise we're going to create conflicts. So I'm going to do a sudo -s to begin a root shell. And here we are. And we're going to see if we have any PHP packages installed, and there are none. So we don't have to erase them. If we did, we would have to delete them. And what is this? All right, so this is already wrong. All right. Well, it's not wrong, we're just doing it differently now. All right, so let me move this. I don't think I need to move them. I think I can. Let me check. I'm just gonna put it here, and we'll look at it when we need it. All right, so we're gonna get dependencies. Vim we installed before, but I don't think I put it here. So we install it now. Again, it's not gonna make a difference. So there's a bunch of libraries. We need, obviously make GCC, G++ and glibc. So that gets installed, yes. And I'm gonna copy and paste Vim again, but we don't need this star. It's installing anytime now. Come on, quick. Like a bunny. Quick. Come on, you can do it. Anytime now. That 99% done. Forever. Oh, we finished thinking. All right. So since I'm doing this, I'm gonna just share something with you. Probably know this already, but you can, from here to here, you can do paste like this. Oops. You can do paste like this, right? And or you can copy here. You can simply press the middle button, and they both do the same thing. They both paste. So now we're installing Image Magic. You use for manipulation of pictures. Remember, you could rotate things and change the gamma or change the white point and the black point, and all that is done through ImageMagick in the background. All right, so we already run update and upgrade, but let's just run it again. Who knows what happened in the last 30 minutes? Apparently nothing happened in the last 30 minutes. All right, so now there are a bunch of packages that we need, and we're just going to install them. Right, so we need an Apache DevWork, package. We're not going to be compiling Apache itself. In the old site, we used to compile Apache because we had a different web servers. We have a web server for pictures, we had a web servers for the main pages and so forth, and they have different optimizations. And I'm not sure if it is different today, but way back when we did that setup, the way to optimize Apache for a server that was doing purely picture serving versus a server that was doing more thoughtful output was in the compilation of Apache itself. Nowadays may have changed. I have no idea. All right, so we installed Apache, libpng, yes, and we got this guy, ICU and XML2. As a matter of fact, we're going to have to recompile ICU 66. We're going to have to downgrade it to ICU 60 because of a compatibility issue with PHP 5 and libicu, but whatever, we already installed it anyway. libjpeg dev, yes. And the same thing with FreeType. We're also going to have to install a different version. Now, autoconf, I remember we needed with 5.3. I don't think we're going to need with 5.4, so I'm going to delete that. And here, the MySQL client, so obviously we're going to need that to be able to connect PHP to MySQL. Right, and okay, here. All right, so I just want to, this is a command that we used to figure out where things had been installed, and that is the response. Actually, I'm not sure we're using this information anymore. Maybe we are, maybe we are not. Copy. If we're not, I'm going to remove it. I'll keep an eye on it. All right. Now, remember I said we need ICU version 60? There it is. So let's go to user local source and do a wget. And that's downloading of that location. Anytime now. It's actually going reasonably fast. And, oh, maybe not. It's going backwards now. Doesn't look good. It's going back to the beginning. All right. All right, done. And let's see. Yeah, this is what it looks like. There you go. And put an H at the end for human. And it is how much? 52 megs. So that's actually a small package. Okay, copy this, and we're gonna untar it, unzip it, expand it, whatever you want to call it. And you know, it expand onto that directory ICU release. So the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rename this, because release 63 doesn't tell me what it is. So I'm gonna say ICU underscore 63. So in the future, if I happen to look at this, I'll be able to relate this star archive with this directory that was being expanded. Nevertheless, let's continue. Am I recording this? Yes, I am. Good. because the other day I recorded everything and there was no sound. Anyway, there you go. Change to that directory, configure it. Reconfiguring it for that directory, user local ICU 60, and make J4. We're gonna make J8. Let's see. I want to see if this really is going to use more processors. Let's say J8. And you go here. It's not using any CPU. Oh, there you go. A little bit of CPU. And it is using 8 CPUs. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, excellent. So when you do make this -j and the number, that's the number of threads you're suggesting it uses. And as you can see, it is doing a pretty good job at it because it got all the processors going. All right, so that's compiled. I'm going to leave it at J4 because chances are that's a more realistic general setting. And what is going on here? Oh, make install. So make creates the binaries from the sources, and make install puts them wherever you told the system they should be. In this case, the ---- prefix is where you told they should be, and they've been put there. And let's go and let's see if we got the right version. Yeah, 60.3, so that's all good. And now this guy here, this symbolic link, it took me forever to figure it out, but the PHP build process 5445, whatever that was looking for that library in this place, and so these are the types of things that, as time passes, all these libraries change where they are, whatever, where they look for things. And that's the type of fixing that you have to do when you use old libraries with new libraries and a mix of these things. So at this point we built ICU. Now we're going to build FreeType, because the FreeType that you get, both the FreeType and the ICU that you get with the app or apt-get, is going to be incompatible with the version of PHP that we're trying to compile. So we have to downgrade them. All right, so let's go back there and get it, meaning FreeType. We're using wget and the URL, and you're going to download it. And it is done. And the thing is, oops, we're in the wrong place. And the thing is, it named the thing download because that was the last thing in the URL. So obviously that's not helpful. We're going to rename it to what the archive is supposed to be. So you can see now it's FreeType 249. And we're going to unzip it. Bang. And you can see over here that it's now created this FreeType 249 directory. And we're going to go there. And we're going to tell where we're going to configure it, meaning we're going to tell it what environment it's in and where we want it to put things. There we go. And then we're going to make it again. And I'm going to do a make J8. And over here in the, I'm going to use a J4 here. All right, so that's made. And I'm going to make install, meaning first we create the binary, now we put them where they should be. And you can see over someplace here that it went to the right place, which I can't find right now. There we go. Yeah, user local FreeType 249 lib, which is where we expect it to go. We told it to go to FreeType 249, and it add that /lib because that's what it does. And so we finished building FreeType. Now we're going to build a plain version of PHP. But this is wrong because first we have to download it. So let's go to source, and we have to get PHP 245, which I thought I had the URL here someplace. Perhaps at the bottom? No. No, it thinks it's already here. So I already have this someplace in the computer, but I wanted to have this in a complete form, meaning you would be able to get it. Alright, so I'm just gonna copy here and go download. I think it's versions something. Releases, there you go. No, not release announcement. Releases. So we're looking for find. I don't know why in Linux Apache doesn't like the control ins. Anyway, so here's 245, and we want the tar GZ. That's usually what I use, and it has the validation here in terms of the checksum, but whatever. We're gonna copy link location, and that's the link. I'm gonna do a wget, and it's gonna get it. Right, so do we download the package, the archive rather, and you can see it here, PHP 5 something. All right, so let me update the guide to have oh, come on, stop helping me, please. Oh, this is all right. All right, so that's fuck. Pardon my French. There we go. All right, so now we have to untar it. So let's come back here. I'm gonna go here. All right, there you go. Not downloads, that's where it used to be. It's not where it is. All right, so we download it. Let me remove the downloads from here. And now let's move to that directory we just created. Oh, before we move there, you can see over here, you know, the package and the directory where it was expanded. And now I go to PHP. So now this we're no longer, I don't think we're going to need this. So if at the end of the process we don't use this, we can get rid of it. So when I was trying to build this earlier today, it was a major headache. And the way I like divided and conquered this thing was I started with a guide that I found someplace on the internet for this particular version of PHP and Ubuntu 20. And it had a limited number of options that in comparison to what we need for the website. So we started with a minimum number of options, and then we managed to compile it successfully. And then we expanded adding modules little by little until we ended up over here where we have all the settings that we need, and it compiled correctly. So in each of these steps, they were either successfully or they failed. And as they failed, we researched what the issue was and we update the previous steps accordingly. So that is how we learned that we needed a previous version of ICU, and how we learned we needed a previous version of FreeType. And that's also how we learned that we needed some of these packages that we're not aware of. But hopefully, now that we have done this once for this environment, we can take advantage of that and only go with the final version, right? And the final version is this, configure. I think it is this. We'll find out. Okay, so let's configure it. Bam. And it's doing its configuring. This is not much CPU being used in the configuring. Usually when you, okay, so you configure correctly, which is a great victory. It takes quite a lot of effort to get to the point where the configuration runs cleanly. All right, so we are here. Usually the way make works is make clean, get rid of the previous compilation, and make creates a new compilation. So sometimes we run make clean when we change settings, but in this case this is the first set of settings, so we don't really need make clean. I'll leave it in here in case you guys need to go back and forth, but that is not going to be the case. So make -J8, hopefully that's going to get things going. And yeah, so over here I'm going to make J4 because that's a more realistic expectation for most people. It depends how many CPUs you have in your machine and how many CPUs are dedicated to the VM. Since we're doing the video, I put a bunch of CPUs in this VM. That's going to make it go slightly faster. I still talk at the same speed though. All right. Success on the build. The make test. This is, you know, it's more useful if you, I'm going to run it, but this would be more useful if you're compiling a current distribution, because when the tests are finished, any tests that have failed, it compiles a report and you can potentially send that back to the developers so that they become aware of how prevalent a problem is, right? And then they can focus on what they believe should have the priority. It's a bunch of tests. You can see 10,000 tests. We are close to 4,000 executed. It's not linear. I think the second half goes faster than the first half. But I think it is single-threaded. No. I don't know. There must be a lot of I/O thing here. I don't know why. Oh well. No, we're almost halfway. We're past halfway done. Anytime now. Anytime. Anytime. We are almost 80% there. Just because I said the second half was faster. Almost 85%. No, past 90%. Almost there. There you go. So, so you see that there were two. These were the tests that were failed. I'm just gonna say you want to send it the back report. Yeah, why not? All right, very good. So that is done. And we're going to do make install. And what make install is going to do is get the binaries we just compiled and put it in the proper places. And usually I capture this output because, and I paste it here, which I done it, but I'll do it again. And the reason for that is because at some point I may want to know where did the installation program put something, and you have to look up this. Or, not that you have to, but that helps. And now, if you're familiar with Red Hat or CentOS, Ubuntu is quite different in how it organizes Apache and the Apache configuration rather. And I can't speak to that. I just find it quite different. That's all I'll say. So right now, the installation automatically included the Apache module, the PHP module onto Apache. So that's going to be able to pick it up. But there will be an issue with these, I'll show you the break and then I'll show you the fix. And so I stop Apache, I'm going to start it again, and then it says we got problems. And when you go to when you go to the log files and you Google for what it is, the issue is related to a module called npm event. So what you have to do is you have to disable the npm event and enable the npm prefork, and that should fix the problem, as it did. And now, how did I know this? Because I Googled it when I ran into the error, right? So now we are here, we got Apache working, and what we need, this we already did before when we installed SQL, and we did this, we did all of this. Okay, so we did all of this. That is good. And now we are going to test our ability to, from a web page, pick up information from MySQL. And once we are able to do that, that is probably the major hurdle in the installation itself. So we're going to copy the a version of PHP INI, and we're going to, put the correct settings or customize the settings in the next video. But right now I just need an INI that somewhat works. So I'm just going to copy that. What cannot start? Oh, because I'm just in the wrong place. Hold on. That is not where it is. We changed everything. There we go. How about this guy? Nope. Oh. There we go. Nope. That's weird. That's weird. This is always a surprise. It's here. So why didn't it take? What did I try to copy? PHP. All right, so there must be a typo here someplace. So I'll just do autocomplete and there we go. So let's copy this file to where. Oh, because it's trying to copy to the wrong place. Oh, sorry, these are old notes. Where is the... It is in a different place now. There we go. Where's my installation thingy? Make this bigger. That path is good only for Red Hat and CentOS, and we are doing Ubuntu, so that's different. All right, so that is the correct path. Come here. So this is in the wrong place. All right. So when we build the path is different for the configuration file in Ubuntu. And so let's just update this. All right, so did we copy it? Yeah, let's copy it. So we copied where we told, when we compile Apache, we told where we were going to put the INI file. And I just put wherever the rest of the Apache configuration is. Because when it's going to be, well, if we were actually running a website, it would be easier to find everything like in the same directory. And I'm pretty sure some people are not going to like that. Anyway, let's chmod it and let's restart Apache. And now, oh, we're still missing stuff that's not here. Maybe it's going to be, yeah, it is missing stuff here. We have to edit the Apache configuration. Did I put it here someplace? Hold on a second. No, I guess we lost that. All right. Oh well. All right. Let's go there. And so we're gonna edit. Oh, let's make a copy. So this is the original configuration. I'm gonna rename this with what is 1008. Oops, 1008. Right, so I'm copying that, so that way I'll have a backup. And I'm gonna edit this guy. And I have to add a files match directive, and I'll do that I will just Google what the directive is, because I don't want to think. Is it called the... Gosh, if I could only think. Can't remember. Oh, I can't type. I'm used to use Control Insert, and I don't even remember what the keys are, but copy and paste using those keys, and somehow they don't translate well here, and I have no idea what the problem is because I don't use that environment often. But anyway, so C8 PHP Apache. I forgot what the name of the thing. And okay, something here like this. You just want to find the answer. I don't want to read. Gosh, make my life difficult. It's too complicated. And associate is two different. Apache, not PHP, not working. How about that? All right, that should help. Ah, there you go. That's what I was looking for. This piece, this nugget. All right, so get rid of the formatting. So we're gonna come here. I'm gonna save it here. I'm gonna come here. Paste it here. So I don't know why the module didn't do this, that when we installed it, but oops, too much. But this basically saying anything that ends in PHP, please give it to the PHP engine to think about and render. All right, so let's copy this information onto the guide so that we are not missing it. So before we restart Apache, we copy the configuration file to a snapshot, and then we edit the configuration file, and we add the, oops, not you, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, that's good enough. There is no copy and paste here. Oh, this sucks. There's no formatting, copy and pasting. I'm not used to this application, sorry guys. I guess there isn't format, copying and pasting. That's unfortunate. I'll just do this for now. That really sucks. I don't like this. All right, we'll fix that formatting later. And it didn't remember where it was, like position-wise. Anyway, so that's it. So we came in, we added this guy, and we're now gonna restart Apache. And apparently we didn't mess up too much because it didn't complain. And we're gonna create a test file. And in test file, what the test file does, it's connect to the database, go to the DVDAF table database, and lists all the tables. And that's a good test to see if our compilation and everything resulted in, again, this is the old location. So that's there we go. There we go. What do you mean cannot access? Forgot the bar. There you go. And update the sucker. And we're gonna chmod it too. I don't think it's necessary. I think it comes that way. But whatever. All right. So now that we created that little page, I'm gonna go to localhost, and that's where we expect it to be. And we're gonna go to, all right, Jesus. And there you go, success. So right now, we successfully compiled PHP in an old module, right? And we were able to get to that to successfully connect to MySQL and list all the tables in the database that we imported in the last section. So we are in awesome shape. In the next video, what we're going to do is we are going to bring in the custom PHP modules, compile those, and maybe we'll start moving the files from the website onto the VM. Right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.